Think of it like this. Inflation is when the general price of things goes up over time. It's like everything around you is slowly getting more expensive. Here's a simple way to understand it. Imagine you have $100 today. With that $100, you can buy a certain amount of groceries, maybe fill up your gas tank, and grab dinner. Now fast forward 1 year. Due to inflation, those same groceries, that same tank of gas, and that same dinner might cost you $103. Your $100 doesn't buy as much as it used to. That's inflation in action. The US inflation rate stands at around 2.3%, indicating that prices are rising by approximately 2.3% per year. This might not sound like much, but over time, it really adds up. But here's the key question. Why does this happen in the first place? Demand pull inflation. This happens when everyone wants something, but there isn't enough of it to go around. What happens? The price of bread goes up because all those customers are competing for the same limited number of loaves. The high demand is literally pulling the prices higher. Number 2 is cost push inflation. This is when it becomes more expensive to make stuff, so companies have to charge more for their products. Think of it like this. Let's say the price of flour doubles overnight due to a bad wheat harvest. The baker's costs just went way up. Flour, which used to cost $2 per bag, now costs $4 per bag. The baker has the same number of customers wanting the same amount of bread, but now it costs twice as much to make each loaf. So the baker has no choice. Those higher costs are being pushed onto the customers. Number 3 is wage price spiral. The wage price spiral is like a dog chasing its own tail, but with money. Here's how it works. So the baker's employee says, "Hey, I need a raise because bread is so expensive now, and that's what I eat for lunch every day." The baker gives the employee a raise from $15 per hour to $20 per hour. But now the baker's costs are higher because of the higher wages. The employee sees bread is now $6, so they ask for another raise. It's a spiral that keeps feeding itself. Number 4 is monetary inflation. Monetary inflation happens when there's simply too much money floating around in the economy. Picture this. The government prints a bunch of new money and gives every customer in town $100. Now all the customers have way more money to spend than before. They all go to the bakery with their extra cash, ready to buy bread. But the baker still only makes the same 10 loaves per day. With everyone having more money and wanting to buy bread, customers start bidding against each other. "I'll pay $8 for that loaf." "I'll pay $10. The baker realizes people are willing to pay much more, so bread prices naturally rise to $12 per loaf. Too much money chasing the same amount of goods pushes prices up. Now let's talk about hyperinflation, inflation's evil twin. This is when inflation goes completely crazy, like prices doubling every few days or weeks instead of growing slowly over the years. Imagine our bakery in a country experiencing hyperinflation. By Friday, it costs $40. By the following Monday, it's $80 per loaf. The baker has to change prices multiple times per day because the money itself is losing value so fast. This is what happened in Zimbabwe, where inflation hit 79% per month in 2008. Customers literally needed wheelbarrows full of cash to buy a single loaf of bread. Venezuela also experienced hyperinflation exceeding 1,000,000% by 2018, where a loaf of bread that cost the equivalent of $1 in the morning might cost $2 by evening. This usually happens when governments print massive amounts of money to pay their bills, creating a vicious cycle where more money printing leads to higher prices, which leads to more money printing. Thankfully, hyperinflation is rare and typically only happens during extreme economic or political crises. So now you might be wondering, with all these different ways inflation can hurt us, let's find out. Section 3. Is inflation always bad? Here's something that might surprise you. A little bit of inflation is actually healthy for an economy. Most economists agree that around 2% inflation per year is ideal. It's like the economy's way of showing that it's growing and people are spending money. Think about it this way. If prices never went up at all, people might just hold on to their money forever, waiting for better deals. But when prices slowly rise, it encourages people to spend and invest their money now rather than later. This spending keeps businesses running, creates jobs, and keeps the economy moving. This will contribute to the country's growth. The problems start when inflation gets too high, like above 4 or 5%, or when it's unpredictable. That's when it starts eating into people's purchasing power faster than their wages can keep up. If you gain some knowledge from this video, check out my other explainer where I break down how tariffs actually work in the simplest way possible. So there you have it, inflation demystified. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.